Welcome to Promote, Profit, Publish. I'm your host, Juliette Clark, and I'm really excited about today's guest. We were going to have her on earlier this year, and something happened, so I'm glad we got her back. But before we get started, I want to remind you to go over to www.breakthroughauthormagazine.com. Get your free subscription. It's absolutely free. We don't sell you anything when you download it. It's tips, tricks, and the things that you need to know about book writing, publishing, promotion, marketing, you name it, we've got it in there, content. We've got some great contributors, and I think you'll learn a lot, and it's free. So get your monthly subscription now. Go over to YouTube and subscribe at Super Brand Publishing, and it'll be a great experience. You can see all these videos over there, as well as some new training videos that we're doing on LinkedIn Live. And if you're not following us at Super Brand Publishing on LinkedIn, this might be the time, because we're doing monthly trainings, only about a half hour out of your time. And if you can't make the training, you can catch it over on YouTube or catch it over on our LinkedIn Live page. So today's guest is my personal photographer, Kim Brundage. And she is a traveling premier personal branding and executive portrait photographer. Kim's client roster includes CEOs, executives, entrepreneurs, coaches, speakers, and influencers. She has more than 115 five-star Google reviews, and in 2019, 20, and 21 won 3 prestigious awards for her photography. Kim is known for her ability to reveal her clients' authentic personal brand through guided exercises developed as a seasoned marketing executive. Through her talks on positive body image and self-confidence, Kim helps girls reclaim their strength and pure beauty. She is also the creator of a photography and video exhibit that focuses on humanity in each of us as diverse humans. So, Kim, I have no idea what that says. So if you could send people there, and welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just my identity.
Yeah, the identity. Talk a little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah, so I just, we all have things in common, and sometimes we don't take the time to get to know each other. And so I did 22 diverse humans, male and female. I did the females first, and they were so easier to talk to, and they're better at sharing their feelings and thoughts. And then I did 11 men. And so it was such a unique experience. So it was neat that you can find things you relate to with anybody. And it was neat to highlight them in the Richmond, Virginia area.
That is so awesome. So today we're going to talk about 5 reasons you hate to have your picture taken. And I'm going to segue into that with Kim actually comes to your home to take these images and talk about easy, painless. She was going through Salt Lake. She travels all over the United States with her husband. They live in a motor home, and they go from place to place. Right now, she's spending the summer in Denver. But when she swung through Salt Lake, they came in, and literally, I cannot even tell you, they were in and out in an hour. I had my photos within hours. I was super happy with them. It was very easy to pose. And I didn't have to go to a studio, or I didn't have to go, out in the middle of a forest or a river or whatever to get great pictures. So, but I will tell you that I hate having my picture taken. So talk a little about that, about why people hate it and sort of what they can overcome to do to get great pictures.
Absolutely. And I just want to say that how you feel about having your picture taken is so common. Like, I run into it all the time. And I think a lot of it starts from the very beginning, when we had our school pictures taken and they were just transactions, and we got back our picture and that was it. Like, there was no no way to change it. And this was your 6th grade picture. And so a lot of people even have told me that they would rather have a root canal than have their picture taken. They skipped school picture day because they hated having their picture taken. So we've got a lot of deep-rooted, uncomfortable feelings about having your picture taken. And I was one of those people. And so I've studied lighting and angles and posing and all that stuff. And what was a true transformation point for me was I didn't see my beauty until I photographed myself. And that's when I photographed myself, I knew how to pose, I knew how to do the lighting. And so it was really an interesting experience because my first studio was my bedroom. I had an extra large bedroom, and I locked the door and I didn't tell anyone I was doing it, my husband or my son. And then I took these pictures and I was like, wow. And then when I was looking on the computer, I was like, come here, Jeff, come here, Kobe, look at these. And they're like, yeah, these are good. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is what I want to do for other women and help them see their beauty. So I'm really passionate about it because it can have, impact your self-esteem and how you feel about yourself and how you show up. And I've seen people have a great picture of themselves and put themselves out there more toward their dreams and goals and get those dreams and goals because they had that confidence building with a great image of themselves. So it can really be powerful.
Yeah, that is so true. And the other thing too is you have to be, when you're an entrepreneur, you have to keep your pictures updated. I remember going out and meeting one of the top real estate agents in my company. And when I met her, I was like, in my head, of course, I didn't say out loud, like, oh, I didn't recognize you as that picture 20 years old. But, there's always that misalignment when you meet somebody and their picture is not actually updated.
Yeah, it doesn't feel authentic, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like it. And as an entrepreneur, you're trying to build that know, like, and trust always so that they'll buy from you. And so when you don't have an image that matches who you are today, it chips away at that know, like, and trust.
Exactly. It really does. So let's jump into these 5 reasons why. I can't wait to hear it. I'm probably all of these things.
Well, number 1 for me too is someone somewhere told you weren't photogenic. And for me, it was my mother. Yes. And so someone that was really close to you told you that you weren't photogenic. And so, we think that our family can be the best source of the truth. And sometimes that could be the furthest from the truth. So, and I grew up when my mother always put her hand in front of the camera and wouldn't have her picture taken. And so it was very, I'm part of her, right? I came from her genes and my father's genes. And so she was rejecting herself. And so I learned to reject myself. Plus I was told I wasn't photogenic. And so having that, seep into your consciousness, then it's going to be really hard to show up and get your picture taken because you're already decided that you're not going to like these pictures. That
is so true, Kim. And I have to tell you, when we get golf pictures taken, all the women are like, sideways, go sideways. So we look thin and I'm like, just take the damn picture. I don't care.
Right. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the opposite of that is to think about how much the camera loves you instead of how much the camera hates you, how much the camera loves you, how this picture is going to be great, and how this picture is just a segment in time. And if you know a few posing tips, which we can go over at the end, then you can show up as your best self and not look awkward. And because some people will have like an unflattering picture of themselves and will peg that as how they look, which it isn't, right? It's just an unflattering picture.
Exactly. So what is the second one?
The second one is you've always hated your smile. And that could be to your teeth. That could be someone in the family told you have an awkward smile. And so some people, when they try to force a smile, they can look really awkward. And so there's a lady I'm getting ready to work with in June. And you can tell, like, when she tries to fake a smile, it's like, kind of this weird cheese instead of, a natural, authentic smile. Sorry. I don't say cheese when I ask people to smile, but, right, exactly. And so with people that, feel so awkward in that space is I try to get them to connect to their favorite vacation spot or something that makes them really happy. And, for you, it'd be publish that book and be on number 1 on the New York Times bestseller list. That would make you smile.
That would make me smile.
Yeah. So, or get that hole in one with your golf. So, connecting to those things that genuinely make you happy is when then I'm clicking and making sure I get that genuine smile, because I want you to show up as your best authentic self.
Yeah. And what's interesting is, and I'm not the only one who does it. I had braces when I was younger, and now my teeth have moved a little. And I sort of
Oh,
obsess about camera angles. But it was kind of
yeah.
funny because I said something to my kids about I'm going to go get that thing that moves your teeth back, and I was
Uh-huh.
telling them how much it cost. Yeah, I was telling them how much it cost, and they're like, "Mom, I can't even really tell. Like I'm obsessing over
Yeah.
my teeth because I know they move, but nobody else is."
Right, right. Yeah. And that's the other thing is that, we all have insecurities. And at one time, someone told me I have a weird nose. And so that I was like, huh?
Who
And,
knows?
but I internalized it. Yeah, exactly. It's all perspective. And so just like how you felt about your teeth moving a little bit and you thought it was so obvious. And none of us else is thinking about that. We're thinking about talking to you, engaging with you, how beautiful you are. We're our own worst critic. And so if we can think about, the positive and celebrate who we are right now, getting our picture taken, that can change the dialogue. Because look
Very
how
cool.
far you've come and look at all you've accomplished in your life. Like it's really exciting. And it's better than being 6 feet under, right?
Well, I guess if we tell ourselves that, yes.
Well,
Wow,
some
that
people
went
were
dark
like,
quickly.
well, some people are like, I'm too old, I'm too fat, I'm too this, but like, this is who you are. This is how you show up today in the world. Make sure that image reflects who you are. We
That's
have
very
all
true.
these excuses why we can't show up, like I'm not as beautiful as that person, or I'm not as young, or I'm not as thin. And so that's what I mean by people will use that as a place to hold themselves back.
Okay, not good to
So
know. um, number three.
number 3 is you look at beautiful photoshopped images all day.
Oh,
If you scroll and you compare yourself to them. So that one's I actually talked to like a body image consultant, and she had me put in my feed obese people, and so that I had more of a diverse portfolio of showing up in my Instagram feed versus all thin and young people. So it does matter like what you ingest.
that is very true. And I have to say, though, what I'm ingesting with the media these days is not making me happy. Um,
Right.
like
Exactly.
I hate to say this, you guys, but every time I walk in the Athleta store, there is this big wall mural, and one of the models like is missing a tooth.
Oh
And
wow.
I'm just like, we've gone a bit far with the model diversity thing. Like,
Right. Yes. Yeah.
yeah. So,
Mm,
yeah. And that, and I just have a big
interesting.
thing about, this is going to sound awful, you guys, but athletic clothes and huge people in them, because it's not that healthy to be that big. So there you go.
I
Now,
know it's definitely different than how we were raised, right? And so you're fighting up against that mindset of what you were told, which is acceptable. And so that's just a mindset that we were brought up with.
yeah, I agree, but I also am really health conscious, so I kind of look at that
Yep.
and say that is not healthy. Why are we encouraging that? That's just the way our society is. We don't encourage anybody to be healthy anymore. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
number four.
Number 4 is, we talked a little bit about it before, is like you think everyone notices your flaws just as much as you do. And so that could be your teeth, that could be a wrinkle that popped up, that could be I'm very conscious of my neck now, like things are
There you
starting to
go.
shift.
Yeah,
And so
I have the Grand Canyon right here.
well, at least you don't have the 11s,
Oh, there
or
you
they say
go.
rabbit ears or something. But yeah, those are things that I do tend to, and when after I edit an image, just smooth those things out, because I don't want, like with these 11s or rabbit ears, however you want to call them, can make you look like you're scowling, and when you're not. And so I will Photoshop those out, and I will smooth back, because I don't want that to be a distraction point. Because the first thing when you see an image, the first thing you do is connect with the eyes, and second are the hands, if the hands are in the picture.
Interesting. So is it just us women who obsess over that, or do you photograph
Good
men?
question. No, absolutely. Men are definitely getting as just as self-conscious as the women can be. They're having a lot of societal pressures too. And it's just interesting to me too, like a lot of people don't want to show their smile, and get more engagement when you show your teeth when you smile, when you on social media. And a lot of times they don't want to show their teeth because their teeth are crooked. And so they, don't either spend the money to get it fixed, or they're missing a tooth or something like that. So
well,
I think we're all suspect to all this stuff.
Just really self-conscious.
Yeah. And I think that the other thing to know too is that our brains are wired for a negative bias. And that's kind of an evolutionary thing. Like we want to, we scan the landscape to see if there's anything amiss, thing that we should know about. And so whatever that you feel self-conscious about, your eye is going to go immediately to that when you see your image. Immediately go to that first and have that negative bias. And instead of seeing all the other good things that are good about your image. And some people can't get over that 1 or 2 spots that they feel so self-conscious about.
Wow. Okay. So what's number 5?
Number 5 is you've never felt good about the outcome of a professional photo before. And a lot of that has to do with your relationship with your photographer. Like you and I hit it off right away. We developed a rapport, and you trusted me, and you saw my portfolio too. And so by having that rapport, that we were able to build off the energy. And I see that as a collaboration between the two of us than a transaction. And I think that's really important to have that rapport that's built. You've got to trust me. And so you did, and we got a great headshot out of it.
Yeah.
One that you're proud of.
Yeah. And I really did. I mean, I was like, this woman is coming from the East Coast, or I think it was North Dakota or South Dakota. Take a picture, and I'm going to let her in my home. No,
right.
No, but we really did hit it off. And I had worked with you on some other things too. So, we couldn't know each other. But yeah, that was a big trust factor too. And I kept saying to you, I need a headshot, and procrastinating with it as well. And I have to tell you guys, this is the first headshot ever that I didn't cut my hair afterwards. Because it seems like I always get a headshot, and then a couple months later, I will cut my hair. So it's immediately out of date.
Yes. Well, I'm glad because your hair is lovely and beautiful how it is. And I've got one more bonus tip if you want to hear it.
Yes.
So the photography's dirty little secret, as I also know, is that it takes lots of images to get to the one image that you love about yourself. And so there's just little tweaks that we do. And so I don't know if you remember, but we took probably 25 pictures of you, and then you picked the one that you loved. And that's just how photography works. That's how, I've heard like the Nat Geo photographers out in the wild, like they will take 25,000 pictures. So it is, when you see that image on Instagram or in the media, all of those took lots of pictures to get to that one picture. And that's okay. That's no reflection of you.
I'm going to validate that. When I went, I actually went on a National Geographic tour to France. And
wow.
When you go on the National Geographic tours are fabulous, a little bit expensive, but fabulous. But when you go, they always set up something either food wise or something cultural. And we met one of the world's premier war photographers, and we were in his studio
Wow.
having a snack with him. And if you could have
Wow.
seen, I mean, he had some of his work on the wall and was telling us
Hmm.
stories about being, I think it was in Afghanistan, where they had to hide him
Wow.
so the Taliban wouldn't kill him. But if you
Oh,
saw his warehouse, he's got like just boxes and boxes and boxes marked
yeah.
with the dates and whole boxes of negatives that he took, because it
Hmm.
wasn't just like a one-off and he got that great shot.
Right.
So
Right.
I actually have
Yes.
someplace around here some of his shots, but
Do
you'd
you?
definitely
Oh,
recognize them.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I mean,
wow. That's so
yeah,
cool.
it was a very, very cool lunch snack studio trip
I
that we did.
bet.
But I mean, that just validates that even someone who is world renowned like that takes,
Yes.
shot after shot after shot to get that right
Yes.
one that's on a magazine cover or inside of a spread
Yes.
about a particular country. So,
Yeah.
um, so tell us a little bit about the posing. You said you would give us some posing tips too.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. And so, the first thing I tell people to do is to lean forward 2 to 3 degrees, and it's going to feel awkward. But I don't remember if remember that I had you.
I do.
Yes, just a little bit, just
I
a
do
little
remember
bit,
that.
just a tad, just 2 or 3 degrees, and it just helps because whatever is closest to the camera is the largest. So you definitely don't want to be like leaning back and making your hips the biggest. Like some people, they may feel self-conscious about something, and so they'll like lean back. And the other thing is that I have people bring their chin out and down, and that opens up your eyes more. And everyone's worried about a double chin, and so they naturally put their head up to try to take away from that double chin. But if you just bring your chin out and just bring it down just a little bit, it's not overly done, but that will help open up your eyes. It also slims your face if you're concerned about that, and you know, brings the eye to the focus, because that's what you want to connect with first. And the other thing that I do too is what's compositionally pleasing and can be slimming is right now I've got sleeveless. So, but if my arms were the same color as my body, I have you put your hand on your hip or just bring it lower on your thigh, just to break up the break up the arm from the body, so you don't look like a longer blob, so the people can see your waist. So that was important. And we put your hand on your waist, or we put it down further just to break up your arm from what you had on your body. And so the other thing that's nice to do is have a V-neck, is also slimming to the face, because it mirrors the face shape if you have a V-neck with your jewelry or your clothing.
Very nice. Very nice. So, Kim, where can we find you? And you're going to be in Denver this summer. So,
Yep.
if you live in Colorado or, I don't know, even Utah, because I'm only an 8-hour
Yeah,
drive from Denver,
that's right.
where can we find you to connect? I know you're over on LinkedIn. You've got it all behind your head, but where's the best place to
Yep.
get a hold of you if they want to book?
So my email address is kim@kimbrundage.com, and my website is just kimbrundage.com.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for taking the time to do
Thank
this today.
you. Absolutely. My pleasure. I'm always happy to talk about it.